Welcome back. Episode 21. Caddy Corner.
Crazy.
That is crazy. This episode is going to be, I have it written down as Caddy Corner Retrospective. Stopping. Oh, yes. I'm Austin. And
I'm Caleb.
Yes. Good job.
Thank you.
Man, I'm glad that you're paying attention. 21 episodes deep. Still have no idea how to introduce myself.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, here we are. At least I can roll an outro, though, as you saw in the last episode. But
Yeah.
Caddy Corner Retrospective. We're going to talk about the last 20 episodes of our show, which is crazy. It's 20 weeks. A couple of weeks before that in, like, idealizing, and that's not the right word, but ideating the show and figuring out what it was going to be like.
Yep.
So we're just going to talk about that a little bit because we don't really do that ever for you guys. And hopefully you're interested because you've watched our show consistently, most of you probably.
Yeah.
So you probably are interested in Caleb and I at least a little bit by now, and this whole show that you watch every week, every Friday and Wednesday to be specific. But
Yeah.
before we jump into it, our stats have been jumping recently. I don't know if you've been paying attention,
Yeah, I have.
but we are like about to cross 550 downloads on the audio.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. Our YouTube Shorts have been popping off. We've doubled our subscriber count in a week, so shout out to you guys. If you're from YouTube Shorts that you've never seen our show before, what's up? We're here.
Whoop, whoop.
We do this every Friday for you guys, as you already know. So with that said, if you are on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, and if you're on Anchor, or on Anchor, if you're on audio, follow and rate the show. I feel like saying that now might actually help with that.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Caddy Corner Retrospective. So, I don't really know if you have a place that you want to start or not, and if you do, you can take it away. I just have a couple of things that I want to talk about. Actually, I have somewhere that I want to start.
Okay.
I forgot because it doesn't have a bullet point next to it, and so I thought it meant nothing on my notes here, but it actually is something. So, only 17% of podcasts make it to episode 20,
Yeah.
and here we are
Here we are.
at episode 21.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that means that we are better than 83% of podcasts, if my math is right. I think that's the right math. Pretty sure.
17 minus 100.
It's definitely 83.
Well, yeah.
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 Good job, me.
Well, it's actually 100 minus.
Yes, that's true.
Sorry.
Who cares? We just make videos.
Yeah. Don't ask me anything about math because I wouldn't be able to tell you the answer.
Yes. But I was just thinking about that. Well, I wasn't just thinking about it. I actually saw a TikTok of it like maybe yesterday. And I was like, well, this makes sense. And if I'm ever going to get to say this stat, it's on episode 21.
Yeah.
So here we are. But I don't know. If you have a place that you want to start kind of going back to, take it away.
Well, the way I have this written out here on my notes is I have good and then bad.
Aha. Okay. Sure.
So
I have best shows, worst shows, and then I have like best moments.
Oh, well, mine are totally different.
That's fine. We can just do it.
Okay.
We can think of it off the top of the dome. Just say what you got to say, and I can rebuttal.
Okay. So I have a couple things here that I think are good things that we've done throughout the past 20 episodes. So you want me to just roll through my list real quick?
Yeah, and then if I
And then if
I'll
you have
comment.
anything to say,
yeah, I'll comment.
So, number one, we have not missed an upload.
Facts. And that was not the easiest thing in the world either.
No.
Like through the summer, well, I don't know. We never really pushed it, but I don't know. Maybe if people that were in our position weren't as committed as we were, they would have definitely missed a couple weeks because we definitely did like I think 2 or 3 like let's record 3 episodes in one day.
Yeah.
So, that was something that I think that we're both super committed to that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And then next on my list, I say we bring value to every show.
Yeah, ever since episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since episode 1.
Ever since episode 1, we've brought some kind of value to every single show.
Facts.
And that's pretty impressive.
I think that's and that's something that it changed our whole process up. Like there's a lot more planning and pre-production that goes into the show now than there. I mean, like the only thing that was different than like it was episode 1.
Yeah.
But it's just it changes the way that we did the show in general. So yeah, for sure. If you don't think that we bring value, then that's fine. But just let us know.
Yeah.
Because then we can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next here on my list, we have grown together as partners.
Facts. It's weird too because like I feel like I've been working with you forever.
Well, we've been working together for a long time.
Yeah.
But
like we're so efficient now.
Yeah.
And I feel like we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, yeah, we work super well together, and like, I feel like we never like we'll like a lot of times too. Like I know we just said that we do a lot of planning and pre-production stuff like that, but a lot of the times, we'll think about an episode idea like 3 days in advance.
Yeah.
And then that will be it, and we'll both come with value, which is
Yeah.
hard, you know. It's
Yeah.
just like I just believe that you're going to do it. So
Yeah.
and same
Definitely.
thing. So
Definitely. So speaking of being efficient, me and you have both ironed out the recording and editing process to a science.
facts. Yeah, and I feel like still we have a long way to go still, which is crazy like
Yeah.
feeling to me, because like a month ago it was taking me like an hour and a half to do clips, and now like I can get it done in 45 minutes if I just sit down and do it. So
Yeah.
and I'm sure the same thing with the audio for you.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
yeah, so definitely. And even the recording process, like I remember episode like the first couple, whenever we transitioned over to your house after episode 1, like the setup process was like a big fiasco.
Yeah,
like
it was.
getting the gear in the right places, and now we just come in and it's like science. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also something that has to do with that, the reason we have ironed out the recording process and the editing process is because us being good at recording has made editing so much easier.
Oh, 100%. We don't cut really anything out.
No, we really do not cut anything out of the shows.
Not
And
very often.
That just makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Definitely makes it easier from the editing perspective too.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think it's easier for the audience. I mean, if you go through every episode that we do, which you should do, and you should watch every episode all the way through, it'll boost the analytics up a lot. So do that. But if you go through there, there's probably like you could probably count on like both of your hands how many like hard cuts that there are.
Yeah.
In all of the videos that we've ever done. So
Yeah.
that's impressive, you know. So we're just good at talking, I guess.
So another thing that is good is after hours.
Oh yeah, what an idea, huh?
That was such a good idea.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And I love that show so much.
Yeah, it's the best. Oh, I don't think we've even talked about that on the full
Yeah, I know
podcast.
that's why I wanted to bring that up here.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what After Hours is, it is a audio only version of this show that we came out with that is more laid back and more the show that whenever we started this podcast was going to be, but we ended up going a different direction with the regular show, but we wanted to
Still bring like personality.
exactly. So it's a place where we get on there and we talk about just random stuff that we think is fun to talk about, and then post it for you guys to listen to and hear us.
Just talk, basically.
Yeah.
It's just us broing out.
So it's super fun. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out. It comes
Definitely.
out every Wednesday
Forever.
from now on, and it is great.
Yeah, I think so. I think that some of our best stuff is there. So you
Yeah.
definitely should check that out.
Yeah.
And one of the things, too, is After Hours has blown me away with how well it's done.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
We don't really promote it at all. I
Not
post
really.
I post maybe like one IG story of it the whole week.
Yeah.
But it pops still. So that's why I'm super impressed with the audio listeners. Shout out to the audio listeners.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
guys are killing
They
it.
are killing it, man. They're killing it. I don't know if you saw it or not, but episode 1 just hit 80 downloads.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, especially because it's our worst, but I digress. Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about that, and never mind.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that on here. But the last good thing that I have is we've had some amazing guests on our show so far.
Yeah, facts. For sure. And I think that it's only going up, too.
Yeah, I know. We have so many guest ideas in the bag for you guys.
For sure.
Stay tuned for those because those shows are going to be killer.
Definitely. And Back to School series definitely put like a stunt on that.
Yeah.
So like we had a guest that we were going to do then, just didn't quite work out timing wise. But coming down the pipeline, keep your eyes peeled for guest episodes. And if you guys have ideas for guests, hit us up because we only know so many people. So
Yeah.
that's something that I was thinking about too is like think about how many people that we know who are just connected to other people that would make good podcast guests.
Yeah.
We haven't even reached out to those kinds of people.
I know.
We have friends that go to Chapel Hill. Why can't we get one of the basketball players on our podcast? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but it's just stupid to think that way, but that's like true kind
Yeah.
of, you know? So anyway,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
All right. You can take it away now.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay. Well, so how I did mine was I did like our best shows, our worst shows, and then some of our best moments.
Gotcha.
So we'll start with best shows. We'll go for positive first. I think for me, at least, one of my favorite episodes that we did is How to Grow Up. I love that episode, man.
Such a good one.
I do too, because I love the message of that. I think it's very important for people to like hear that.
Yeah.
I think we murdered it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that there's just a lot of interestingness in that podcast. I think a lot of people that are our age have trouble with that. And I haven't seen a lot of people make a show like that. So
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite ones that we do too.
Yeah, that one's really good.
And then my other favorite show, it's 2 shows, is the Going Deep series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just like that format.
Yeah.
Come up with like questions that either are like just create good responses from both of us.
Yeah.
And then rip out 35 minutes of a podcast with it.
And I don't think that you guys understand how difficult those episodes really are. Because whenever we create those episodes, we don't send each other our questions
No,
before we go.
facts.
So
Yeah.
those questions that we come up with, especially the Going Deep,
Yeah.
those are hard questions to answer,
especially off the dome.
Off the dome, man.
And like, don't say like or as a ton. Don't stutter.
Yeah.
Don't like explode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some of the most fun ones though, because I think that those kinds of questions, especially with raw answers, are so like valuable.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is something that we think about a lot. So
yeah, and I think that it's good because it helps us grow as like characters.
100%. Yeah, for sure. Because like that's the thing is they don't really know who we are.
Exactly.
Like a ton.
Yeah.
So answering those questions is I feel like really helpful.
Yeah.
Do you have any like favorite shows off the top of your head that you can think of that we've done?
I think one of my favorite shows is the last episode series that we just posted, the College Professor episodes.
Yeah, those were really good.
Me and my dad talked about this a little bit on the podcast, but in that episode, if you guys haven't checked that out, go check out those episodes. They're very good. But just that experience doing like what I love with my dad, and he's like one of my biggest supporters, always has been, and just being able to get on there and like talk with him and ask him questions, interview style, super cool experience.
Yeah.
It was like beyond anything.
For
it
sure.
was so cool.
I just thought it was cool I know my mom's network a lot, like people that she's connected with and stuff like that, and it's just like I thought to myself, like whenever I posted the clips, I was like, that's the people that are watching this clip. Less so like us. It's like, I don't know, almost like my mom had fans, like a weird thing, you know what I'm saying? So those were super fun episodes. I think that was a good idea that we had, because like we had that idea
since we started.
Yeah, but also like we weren't going to do that.
Oh yeah.
Like it was not something that we really had planned for the back to school series or whatever. So we literally like, I don't know, maybe in like a week we turned those 2 episodes out. So, and it was originally going to be 1 mega episode, but that would have been a hike for you boys. So yeah, we took our foot off the pedal on that one. You're welcome, I guess. Yeah. Any more that kind of stick out? Just off the top of your head?
Let me think. I'm trying to think back.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
I would probably say that just all the guest episodes.
Yeah.
That is like my style of podcast, I think. Like interview style guest podcast.
For sure.
Those always just hit home for me.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. Those are super fun.
Yeah. And our guests have just been incredible.
100%.
I already said that.
Yeah,
but
100%. So next we'll go to worst episodes for me.
Okay.
And I'm sure that I have reasons for these. So I think our worst episode is Behind the Pod. And the reason I think that is because I like listened to that episode back recently. And that was in a recordathon. I think that was the last episode that we recorded one day.
Yeah.
We're tired. You could tell. And I just didn't we know our process better than anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't think we delivered it in the best way.
Oh yeah. I think that's tough to do.
Yeah. And especially like episode 3 of a bender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough. So I think that was our worst podcast that we ever did. I think probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh. Yeah. And it sucked, but like at least I think that being able to recognize that's important, you know.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I know exactly why it's not that good.
Yeah.
But I think that we could do that episode again in a month and it would be 10 times better than what it was.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, nobody knows our process better than we know our process. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody else can make that video. And we can, but I just think that we should have I don't even really remember the pre-production process for that. I just remember, hey, we got to record 3 episodes on Wednesday. Okay, let's record 3 episodes on Wednesday. And then we ended up, so, you know, and that happens.
Yeah.
So I think that was, but really that's the only one that I have written down. To me, that's our only stinker of an episode, I think. Other than episode 1, I guess, but episode 1 was a weird one.
Yeah, well, I think that episode 1 was probably the worst episode.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Not so, well, honestly, yeah, it definitely was, in my opinion. And here's my reasons. 1, we had audio issues, which, nice.
It's coffee season, boys. Got so much stuff to do. Welcome to college.
Yeah. So we had some audio issues, which were hard to fix in post-production. Impossible, even. And there was really no planning for that episode. We planned it in the car on the way to the recording session.
Facts.
So that was not very smart. And then our topics that we talked about were time sensitive. So that didn't help us out.
No.
And I think that those are the 3 main reasons, but we've talked about this off the pod. I don't know if we've ever said this on the podcast or not, but the reason why we wanted to post that episode so bad for you guys who don't know is it was our first episode, and we did record it, and we
so
did
excited.
edit it, and we were so excited
Yeah.
to post something that we created to the world to see.
Yeah.
And so no matter what it sounded like or what it looked like or whatever,
we were posting that thing.
it was going up.
Facts.
And so looking back on that now, probably wasn't the best idea.
No.
And I think that I'll go ahead and say what I was going to say earlier. I think, no offense to us, but I think the reason why we have so many downloads on episode 1 and not as many on the other episodes is because they listened to episode 1 and it's a stinker.
Yeah. I
Like,
think that's fair.
like mic's not turned on. We're talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Which was at the time relevant.
It was,
Yeah.
but not anymore.
No. But it is a fire title.
It is.
It is a fire title.
And I think that they listened to that episode and they're like, I don't like this that good.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree with that.
So,
Yeah. I understand. I totally understand all of those points. Those are all totally valid points for why episode 1 was not ideal. But what I think is really funny is how we turned it around like really quickly.
oh yeah,
Like from episode, and obviously like I think you get, like I think exponential growth is real. Like I think you go from like really bad episode 1, and then episode 2 gets a lot better than that, and then episode 3 gets a lot better than episode 1, but it's only a little bit better than episode 2. Like I think that's real, especially like in this kind of field. But like from episode 1 to now, the show is entirely different. The way that it's conducted, the way that we do everything, like our organization, like our subject matters, our length. Episode 1 was like an hour 30. We do good if we break 35 on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we do like something like After Hours is a different beast, but like it's just kind of what it is. Like episode 1 was just fun.
yeah,
We were
it
just
was.
excited. We were excited to tell people that we had a podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we made the right adjustments, I think.
Oh yeah,
throughout
definitely.
the process. And
yeah, definitely.
I think that we really picked up steam whenever we recorded our first guest episodes. I mean, we've obviously like ironed out and we've got more efficient, but a lot of how the podcast is done has not changed since then, since we recorded with Jason. So,
Right.
but yeah, if it wasn't for episode 1, like episode 1's flop has the most listens of any of our shows. So,
Right.
whatever, maybe people dig it, but
Maybe.
who knows? But maybe we wouldn't have even gotten to this point that we're kind of at now.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you.
I think about that a lot too. You know,
Yeah.
because like it's definitely easy to just be like, yeah, episode 1 sucks, which is true. But like, what did you learn from it? I think we learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
So that's probably, and I think that is like the right pick for the worst episode is episode 1.
Yeah.
But it should be. And also, I'm glad that it's there.
Yeah.
Because I think it's cool to look back in like 5 years and there's episode 1, and it's like a sore thumb compared to everything else.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense compared to After Hours. It's fair enough, but like,
Right.
Anyway, I won't ramble on too much about episode 1.
Yeah.
But you should listen to it if you haven't. So
Yeah, if you haven't listened to episode 1 yet, I suggest you listen.
Yep. Do you have? So my next thing is best moments of our show so far.
Yeah.
Basically, just meaning like in the entire process. And one of the moments that I have, which they don't know about, and I mean, we can't talk a ton about on the podcast, but is every time that we have had guests on the podcast, we have had conversations whenever we turn the mics off.
Yep.
And those conversations are super fire every time.
Yeah.
Bailey's sticks out the most. Jason's was great too. And it was just like, it's just cool, especially like at the time, because at the time, whenever we recorded those episodes, we had like 8 episodes up. And it was like, we were a lot smaller then.
Yeah.
Like here we are now. But I just remember that, like, that's super cool. That's like, that to me is the coolest part about having guests is like,
Yeah, definitely.
whenever you turn the cameras off, it's like, are they like your friends or not? And I feel like in those cases it was like that. So
Yeah, totally.
those are some of my like favorite moments too. And then I put After Hours, like coming up with that idea. I think that that's probably our best idea that we've had yet. So
Yeah.
And we have big plans coming for that down the pipeline too. So
Yeah.
those are my two favorite kind of like generalized moments. Do you have any moments off the top of your head that are stand out?
I think that my favorite moments are after like it's just a recording session, just me and you, and we turn off the cameras and the conversation that we have.
Yeah.
Because me and you, we understand each other so well. And so the conversation that we have after the podcast, where it's like the mics aren't there, people aren't listening, it's just me and you, those conversations are always so cool.
100%.
Yeah. So I really like those. And also our meetings that we would have at the very beginning of this thing.
Yeah.
Like where we would go and like sit and like plan and talk about like the future of this and all that stuff. I love that so much.
We do need to bring that back.
Yeah.
Especially once we get busier.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a reason why I feel like we aren't doing that as much is because now the workload that we used to consider a lot is not a lot
It's
anymore.
not much anymore.
I don't feel like I'm working hard on the podcast anymore.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it isn't that like, I mean, the clips I think have gotten better. I think that they are edited in a way now that's better for the platforms and stuff like that. I mean, that's my job, so that's what I pay attention to. But like, I don't feel like I'm working hard on it. I just feel like I'm doing what I know how to do already.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do we push the envelope forward? And that's whenever that comes back.
Yep.
So look out for something big coming soon. Blockbuster film, maybe. We're actually directing the new Thor movie.
Yeah, we are.
So that'll be cool when that comes out. It's like next week, I think. So, but those are some of my best moments, and then I have worst moments written down too. Because this one, I just thought about this a little bit ago before you came over. In my opinion, our worst moment comes in the recording session for the Behind the Pod. I don't remember what episodes we recorded then. I think it's like 13, 14, 15,
Something,
maybe.
I think that.
It's something
that's
like that. But the camera was in wide angle, and the video looks horrible. And I just remember making those videos, and I was like, we had to post them. Like there was no. I mean, like we would have missed 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Can't do that. And I was like, ugh. And like it doesn't look super bad in the actual full podcast, but the clips look really bad. And the reason why I was thinking about that is because I'm going back through all of our short form content to post on Shorts. And I posted like 1 or 2 yesterday or something like that for like from that recording session. And I'm like, it just looks really bad. So that to me is our biggest like failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another big failure is like episode 1 microphones. Like it's the same thing. You know, it's like technical difficulties. So
Yeah.
like now we know how to adapt. But like
Definitely.
if we would have gone for, hey, let's reshoot those podcasts, I don't even think we had time to do that. I'm pretty sure I left like literally that week.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So yeah, brutal. But that to me is like our biggest flop of all time in this thing. And
I probably have to agree with you.
yeah.
I think that there were ways around planning that. I think that instead of waiting and recording 3 episodes in a day, we should have
done it
picked
over the time.
picked 3 days.
Yeah. Or done it, or did like 2 episodes 3 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
You live and you learn.
100%.
You learn a lot from situations like that. What
And-
they say is, what do they say? I'm trying to remember now. 80% of inventions came from
trial and error.
trial and error.
Dropped that on the pod one time and I remembered it. There you go.
Is that what you told me?
No, you told me that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I think that the content in 2 of those podcasts were good.
Yeah.
They just looked really bad. And so, I mean, and maybe it's not everybody, but like if I look at a YouTube video and I'm like, man, this looks really bad, I'm clicking off.
Oh yeah, totally.
Maybe that's just like the video dork in me. Maybe everybody doesn't think that way, but I mean, those podcasts were good. Like if you want to listen to those episodes, I don't remember what episodes they are. I think it's 13, 14, 15. But I digress. But if you want to listen to those, just do it on the audio, because otherwise you'll get burnt irises or something. It'll just hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so. So that's all I have written down. But I think that something else that we wanted to talk about was like the heck is next a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, do we have any kind of plans that we want to talk to our viewers about? I think the answer to that question is yes. Just kind of catch them up and talk about some behind the scenes stuff
Okay.
a little bit. As far as plans goes for the podcast, we are talking about, I don't know why I got stuck on we there. That was weird.
You going down a slide?
I think I'm going down a roller coaster.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We really want to do like a actual proper YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Doing like, I hate saying challenges because it sounds like we're Mr. Beast, but challenges. But just more like in real life stuff. That way you can get kind of a sense of who Caleb and I like really are off the pod. I promise we don't always just agree on everything. I know we
really don't.
I know we do it on the mics every time pretty much, but we really don't just agree on everything, and we don't like live the exact same lives, if you can believe that. We're not just the same person, like cloned.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that the YouTube channel can like proceed, like give that same notion off, because
Yeah.
that would be the goal. Because I do definitely like realize that on the mics were like very similar. Like, and I think that it's just because of like how long we've been like working together and stuff like that. Like,
Totally.
I've definitely picked up a lot off of you and vice versa. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. That was like one of the things that really stuck out to me was we talked about that on After Hours that's coming out a couple of days before you watch this episode.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really want to do. Any ideas for you? Think for a second, because I also wanted to talk about first collection merch, which we were talking about too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have what I think is a super sweet t-shirt design that is, for all intents and purposes, kind of done. We just have to do it.
Yeah.
It would be like extremely limited. And I think that doing something cool would be like taking it to our past guests or people that have been like influential like in our lives and being like, what's up? T-shirt, boom, t-shirt
Yeah.
cannon, slingshot, something cool.
Yeah.
But that would make a cool YouTube video. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just something that I think, I mean, just stupid stuff like that. How can we make the pod better every time? Like
Yeah.
our brand.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So something that I've been thinking about a ton, and I don't know if this kind of is along the same lines of what you're kind of thinking about, but we were speaking about doing a large scale production type
Oh yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So can I talk about that here?
Yeah. Talk about how, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. For sure.
I didn't know if that was
No, not definitely
if that was
not off limits.
forbidden. Okay.
No, of course not.
So we had this idea, and we want to do a large scale production. Me and Austin making something epic that is not a podcast or like just your average YouTube video. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. We really haven't spoken about it a ton, but
It's still very much in like the infancy of its existence. Like,
but the conversation that we've had, I don't want to say too much.
most of it is on After Hours that is out on Wednesday of the week that you're watching this. So
Yeah.
if you want like any kind of like because we kind of like came up with that on the pod.
You know, speaking of that, I was just thinking, and the reason why I got stuck right then, whenever you asked me what I wanted to say, I had forgot to post After Hours.
Really?
Today is Wednesday.
Oh man.
I thought today was Tuesday.
Huh. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah. So, sorry, guys. There's no After Hours today.
Well, it'll be today.
Whatever.
Well, let's upload it immediately after this.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be up on Wednesday, just not Wednesday at 8 a.m. whenever it normally comes out. What was I thinking?
Who knows?
That's correct. I had to say that.
Back to school season is tough.
Yeah, I had to say that because that was going to drive me insane if I didn't say that.
Oh yeah.
So I apologize, everyone.
I didn't even think about that.
I apologize to you.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, it does.
It does, but well, not as much. As long as it goes out on Wednesday, who cares? Crying?
No.
Okay.
I was, but
I
not really.
understand.
So yeah, large scale production coming in a long time.
Yeah, not soon.
But it's in the works, and I just cannot stop thinking about that.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I think that it could be the coolest thing that we've ever done, maybe.
And so, like, whenever he says large scale production, the idea of that comes from like I said, like, how crazy would it be if we screened something? Like,
Yeah.
went to our old high school auditorium and like did it almost like a movie premiere or something like that. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is yet either. But that's where the idea comes from. So it would be something that like you'd watch in a movie theater.
Yep.
Not knowing, like, I know that we're directing Thor, so obviously like watch out for that. But like,
Oh well, that's like
yeah, that's
this
a
big
lot smaller compared to what
what I'm thinking.
100%.
So that's why it wasn't even on my
Yeah,
mind.
no, I understand. I definitely understand. But if you are interested in working with us on this project, don't hit us up right now.
Oh no, because we'll forget about you.
Yeah, but just keep it in the back of your head that I would say most likely, I don't think that there's much of a chance that we totally never do this idea. But just keep an ear out, especially for somebody that we work with in the studio, because we're going to need editors and we're going to need actors. And I'm definitely not good at acting, but I can direct you. I definitely can do that. So if you need reference for that, the Finding Nemo video that we made in the studio will showcase that. So
Yeah, totally.
but yeah, that's a super sick goal too. And then, do you have any like goals for the rest of the year for the podcast?
Yeah. So, I have a couple things here, and I say get more guests on the show. I know I've spoken about that.
100%.
But like the ideas of guests that we have, just me and you talking, I think would make such good episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is something that we should really pursue and really put the foot on the gas and get that going.
For sure.
Because I think like for me, that's a show that I love to record.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about this every time we have guests, but bringing value to the show that we can't bring.
Right.
You know, so getting
perspective.
somebody else's perspective on life
mm-hmm.
always is a good thing
For sure.
in my eyes. So I think that is something that we need to start doing more.
Definitely.
And another thing that I have is getting our studio up and running.
Oh yeah, facts.
So I don't think we've ever talked about this.
No, we haven't.
Man, you guys are just getting the tea today.
The dirt, yeah.
So this is not a studio.
I thought we had them fooled. We definitely had them fooled until you said something, though, yeah.
Maybe.
I think so.
This is. I hate to break it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell them what this is?
Yeah, I don't know, but I had this guy DM me on Instagram, and he was like, he wanted to know what soundstage that we use for the podcast, so you might break his heart. But you can say it if you want. Who cares? I mean, it is what it is. One guy.
This is a dining room.
Yeah, it is.
Same thing. Whenever all the walls were orange, it was a dining room.
Mm-hmm.
Both times.
Both times.
So we have a building.
A space, yes.
And all, not, I shouldn't say all. What we have to do is we have to go in there and tear out all this stuff in a room.
And rebuild
it. And then, boom, we have a legit recording studio.
Which is built to our specifications for the most part.
And all we have to do is start.
Facts.
So let's do it.
We need to.
Yeah, I know.
100%.
Yeah.
I will say one of the reasons why I have not been like pressing the gas on that is because I have been mega broke.
Oh yeah, me too.
So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been pushing it super, super, super hard. It's just that. So,
yeah, so we actually are
accepting donations.
We actually are starting a GoFundMe. So
yeah,
every dollar counts.
We really aren't.
No, we're not.
But
so don't go look.
You want
to
to know something funny? Is I was on Anchor earlier today, and it said that one of the ways that we could monetize this is we could sell subscriptions on Spotify, or you sell like $5. It's like $5 a month, and you get like an extra episode or something like that. So
yeah,
if that's something that you guys would be interested in,
let us know.
Let us know, because one of the things I'll talk about this. One of the things that we thought about monetizing the show kind of sooner than like on YouTube or on Anchor even was doing when we get kind of big enough, and whenever After Hours gets big enough, doing a video after hours that's through Patreon, or something like that. We would want to do that in the studio to that way make like a really cool set. But if you're interested in that, just let us know. Let us know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. Because Caleb and I have all of these awesome ideas, but we really never know if they're good or bad until we do them, because both of us kind of think the same way. So
yeah.
So yeah, definitely like let us know. But like, yes, we need to get the studio going for sure. We have a lot of really awesome ideas for the studio. And we will be fully copying the Andrew Schultz Flagrant set. So,
okay,
coming for you.
Yep. And so, lastly, here I have keep growing and keep getting better every show. And so, I think speaking a little bit on what you've already spoken about, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where I feel like I'm not working hard on the podcast. So I think that something that we could do and should do is kind of push our boundaries a little bit and kind of get out of our comfort zone some and start trying some new things, just so we can get that kind of
creative juice flow again.
Exactly.
I understand. I think the second channel comes in there.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's where I'm like missing a little bit of the chunk. And one of the reasons too, I'll say why I haven't been pushing that super hard, because we were thinking about getting that up and running in like October-ish.
Yeah.
Realistically, we could have a video out for that in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever we come up with an idea and film it or whatever. One of the reasons why I think that would be tough, at least for me, is like the editing process of that, because that would be on top of the podcast, the shorts, the clips, all that kind of stuff. It would be, hey, edit this 15-minute YouTube video kind of thing.
Right.
And so delegating a little bit of the video editing of the podcast would be something that would make that, I feel like, a lot easier.
Totally.
And so like if you wanted to maybe edit like bits and bobs here and there video wise, we haven't even talked about this.
Oh yeah.
But like that would be a way, I feel like, to make it a lot easier, because like we can't make, for example, like the quality of the YouTube videos it would make on our second channel would not be at the level of like a Mr. Beast or like a Sideman, something like that.
Totally.
Where you can post like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like we can't do that. You have to post once a week, maybe more.
Yeah.
And so I've just been thinking about that workflow a lot and trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah,
So
totally.
that's just something that we need to think about whenever we come up with what's next for the channel is.
Yep.
How are we going to do it? Because with this, it's easy because it's like audio, boom, video, boom. It's easy.
Yeah.
Delegating's easy there. But anyway, something that we just have to think about.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, I mean, that's something that we just have to talk about, which we don't do a very good job of. So
If anybody wants to become a Caddy Corner editor,
listen, all you'd have to do is subtitle the shorts. That's it.
Hit us up.
And also just hit us up if you know a way to automatically subtitle podcast clips. If you know how to do that, then like I don't like you can just do it yourself. You can post them if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will not pay you, but we'll be your friend.
I'd give you $1 every now and then
Facts.
if you ask nicely.
We still do apple slices for our interns, which we never had, by the way. So
Yeah, sadly.
yeah, but we're not looking for an intern this time. We're looking for a friend.
Nobody-
/ subtitler.
Nobody wants to be our friend, I think.
Well, we never packaged it as if being our friend was an option. I think we made it more so just seem like they were gonna like be our footstool.
For free.
Well, for apple slices. Whereas this time it's like you could be our friend and get apple slices, and all you have to do is subtitle the clips.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit more appealing, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe somebody will want to be our friend this time.
For sure.
Okay.
My biggest goal for the rest of the year for Caddy Corner is I want to hit 1,000 downloads really bad.
Yeah.
I think we'll murder it.
Yeah,
'Cause
I think so.
we started in March, uploading once a week on the audio. We're gonna kill that. I think we're gonna be in like the 1,200-ish range.
Yeah.
To me, that's a huge number.
Yeah.
We're a lot bigger than I ever thought we would be.
Me too.
Because when did we start? Like the end of March.
Something like that.
And here we are. This is coming out in like the very last day of August, maybe, or something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, we literally doubled our subscribers in a week last week.
That's crazy.
And I don't know if you even see the YouTube analytics or not, but they are destroyed.
I don't see him.
Oh, because of the shorts, it's like impossible to understand them anymore.
Gotcha.
Because like our average watch time now is like huge. Because people are watching the shorts like multiple times. Because all of the shorts analytics go into the actual video analytics.
Gotcha.
So we have like 20,000 views on the week
Gotcha.
off of pretty much all shorts. But why is that going in the same place? Anyway, I won't use this platform to ramble about YouTube analytics.
I don't know.
But, so confusing and so annoying. But anyway, so I think that's it.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Cool. But that was it for Caddy Corner Retrospective. Hopefully you guys didn't hate this. I feel like there's a lot of really cool information here. And, you know, if you want to start a podcast yourself, you learn a little bit about what that looks like and what to look out for and what to not do. Like, don't put your camera in wide angle whenever you're filming the podcast.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that. The video looks brutal. Unless, I guess, you're really far away. Or not really far away. If you're really close, I don't know. But just don't do it.
I got to show y'all something real quick. This is side.
Okay.
Don't drink Dasani water is where I'm getting to. Listen to this. This is a water bottle, freshly opened. It didn't do it this time.
Does it like hiss?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Loch Ness
This thing
Monster.
has no fizz.
No. But thanks so much for watching or listening, I guess, to this episode of Caddy Corner. We are the best podcast in the game, period. I've actually been watching a lot of Joe Rogan, which we're going to talk about in After Hours after this. But our podcast is at least 25 times better than his. His is pretty garbage. So, if you're new or if you're old, click like and subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment if you're on YouTube. I really appreciate it. If you're on the audio platforms, rate and leave a review. Our rating has gone up. It's 4.7 or 4.6 now.
That's killer.
On like 2 or 3 more.
You guys
ratings.
are killing it.
Yeah, shout out to the audio listeners. You guys are murdering. I don't even know what the ratings is on Spotify because apparently I haven't listened to enough of our shows on Spotify to be able to rate or see the analytics.
You know, I've never even listened to a single one of our shows on Spotify.
I have it. I have Spotify on my phone just to make sure that the episode gets published.
Gotcha.
Yeah, actually,
That's smart. I should do that.
And actually, the reason why I originally downloaded it was because I wanted to listen to the episode of Call Her Daddy with Emma Chamberlain. But ever since then, we started a podcast. I don't know if you guys knew or not, but we actually have a podcast. So
yeah.
But anyway, I won't talk about Spotify for too long. But if you haven't followed us on Instagram, do that. I actually posted our very first Facebook long form clip. I got like 120 views.
Not bad.
Crazy. The rest of them got like 4. The rest of our posts got like 4 or 5 interactions, but this one's got like 25 likes and like 120 plays. So shout out to you, Facebook. I will continue to neglect you because I don't know what to do there. Follow us everywhere, especially watch our YouTube shorts because apparently people like those. If every single person that watches this podcast goes and follows the TikTok, maybe the TikTok algorithm will start to like us. But if not,
it hates us.
Yeah, it does. It really does hate us. If anybody has TikTok tips, please give them to me because, man, it makes me want to just jump off of a balcony. But otherwise, I think that's everything. Listen to every other show that we've ever done. It'll only take you a couple of days. My name's Austin. He's Caleb. This was Caddy Corner. Peace.
Later.